Hello teachers, this is the instructional guide for Primary 4, Term 1, Week 7. And this week we're going to focus on multiplying up to 3-digit numbers by a 2-digit number. I think instead of teaching, based on what is being said here, it's good to explain to the student that if a question like this, 215 times 43, it is actually the same as 215, okay, multiplied by 40, okay, whatever the total that you have, plus 215 times 3. Okay, you get the answer. So explain to them that that's actually, the way multiplication works for this kind of question, right? 215 times 40 plus 250 times 3, right? So this is actually split up into 40 and 3. Okay, but of course, we use a much simplified method, which is why we did it this way instead. So you can actually demonstrate. You can actually first calculate what this is first, right? Which will give you 8,600. Okay, and then this one is 645, right? 3 times 215 645. But we use this so-called algorithm method in a way to make it convenient for us to add this up together. So please use this question as an example. You may do it on the whiteboard, right? Or you may do it on a screen instead. So here you got to demonstrate, right? Draw it up for them. 215 times 43. We always you can always go with multiplication by the ones first, right? Then the tens and the hundreds if applicable. So 3 times 3 ones times 5, or 5 ones times 3, right, equals to 15, right? So you write 1 here, and then 5 here, right? 1 tens here. After that will be 1 times 3 equals 3 tens plus 1 10 equals 4 tens. Okay, so please explain it to them this way. And then 200 times 300 equals 600. Okay, then you do the same. Tell them the next we go with 4. Now take note that when you do 4 times 5 equals 20, you don't write the first 0 here. Before they will multiply, right? Because now they're dealing with the tens place. They need to know that this is by default. You got to write the 0 in, right? So show them that you have to write the 0 first, right? Before you do it. To make it easy, right? Sometimes I'll suggest that students draw lines, right? Because here they are actually dealing with 5 ones times 4 tens. So the 0, which represents tens, is already here. So let's do 4 times 5, right? Equals 20. So you put a 0 here and then 2 here. And then after that will be 1 times 4 equals 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. Right, 6 here. Okay, and then 2 times 4 equals 8. So I would suggest, right, drawing lines at first, especially for those who are just started, because they may not be sure. And then after that, you can add them all up together. This is 5. This is 4. 6 times 6 equals 12, right? So regrouping needed. And the answer is, 9. Okay, 9,245. And then you can get them to do independent practice on their own. I don't think that they need to do a lot because they get 2 more practices later on in the second booklet. So perhaps 2 questions from guided practice. Okay, just to make sure that they know how to do it, especially this double renaming. Some may find it confusing, right? So guide them through. If needed, demonstrate more questions. Get them try H again, right? You can see a lot of double renaming here. Okay. And then we can skip a lot of these questions, right? Because these are all repetition questions. And I would like you to skip all the way to the word problems instead. All right. So you might want to do a question, a simple one, 9, where they just multiply based on numbers here, right? 391 bouquets of 24 roses each. So it'll be 381 times 24. And then make sure that write the statement. Then do one more question. I think go with the, let's see. Go with this one here, where they do question 17, where they have to two steps, right? First step is 44 bookshelves in the library. Sorry, 46 bookshelves in the library, 187 in each bookshelf. Library receive another donation, so it's a two-step question. So they got to figure out how many books were there first on the bookshelves, 46 times 187, then add the additional ones. Okay, so yeah, no, like I don't I think we don't have to do a lot of these questions here. I'd rather assign these as homework because the second book, right, would have more practices as well. So let's move to the second book then. Oh, you know what? I realized that I have actually swapped, right? But the premise is the same. So apologies. I don't think I'm going to record again. So same thing, right? This principle here, this is actually the second booklet. So please use this principle to teach this booklet here. Yeah, I know I got carried away. So yeah, so instead of 3 digits, so explain to them that 31 times 12 is 31, right? Times 10, right? You get the total. And then 31 times 2, right? The total added up, you get the answer. Then show it similarly as what I explained earlier on. Show that this is actually done this way. All right, so the logic is still the same. It's just that for the second bullet, there's another digit, right? Which is why I probably skip a lot of questions. So apologies. I will indicate it later on in the worksheets again of what you need to do. So for guided practice, same thing. Maybe do just 2 questions. Just make sure that they know how to do this on their own, right? As I mentioned just now, get them to draw the lines down to make it easier for them to see, especially when it comes to renaming, right, if possible. So yeah, we skip all these questions, okay, and move on to word problems, right? So let's start with something simple, question 9, and then we do one more complex that has double steps, that 2 steps, right? So that they can be aware that some of the questions, right, have 2 steps. So we can do a question 18 here, where they need to multiply first and then divide, right? Because first of all, he bought these, and then after that, he gave all of them equally to 8 friends. Okay, yeah. Then we move on to book 2, right? So you remind them again. You can use this thing. Remind them that it's actually the same concept. So similarly, we can skip all these questions, right, and just get them to practice the word problem. If there's time, right, please go through a few more word problems with them, especially those where they require them to express their answers in, for example, liters and milliliters, kilograms and grams. Okay, so I've circled a few more questions. If you have time, please go through this with them as well. And I'll let you know what are the homework instructions for this booklet. Thank you.